1.35% below prime, it's easy to attain that with a 15% deposit. We
Okay.
find it's actually across the board, when people bank privately with RMB or, or any of the other banks for that matter, they would only actually sit up and review their rates is if we, as the third party on behalf of our clients, submit the more preferential offering. And that's when we can elicit the better options, which is a great advantage because our service is free too. So yes, your son's in the process of purchasing a property in Rondebosch. Awesome.
Yeah,
And yeah, you've received, or he's received, a tentative offer from Investec at
that's right.
1.35 below prime.
Yeah,
Okay, awesome. Where is he banking at Investec at the moment?
he does. Yeah, he
Primarily.
does. So they give them special deals because he's a candidate attorney.
Yes, yes.
Investec give him, and I mean he's only doing his internship there, but
Right.
I think Investec provide special conditions because for lawyers and actuarial scientists and so on.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean he's not bringing in a large salary, but I think because of where he is, they have said that they wouldn't also need anyone to stand surety, which I thought was unusual. Yeah.
And tell me, is he looking for a full facility or is he looking to contribute a deposit, or how?
No, so we would put down, so the tentative offer that we've made, but I mean we haven't formalized it yet because we needed to know the details, is that we would put down a 400,000 deposit
Yes.
as his parents, and then he would fund something for about $1 million.
$1 million. Okay. All right. Excellent.
And but the offer that Investec gave was that they would fund him up to 1.2 million.
1.2. Okay, yes. So the salary, yeah, I'm sure we can, get to the 1.2 as well, marker. I mean, if you prefer to have a lower capital fund finance amount for lower repayments and better interest options, that is always a better option to do. If you feel comfortable at contributing, I think if the purchase price is 1.4, I would say 15% deposit of that would really allow us to negotiate excellent rates. 15% deposit is about 210,000.
No, we can definitely do that, yeah.
Okay.
And we thought more just to give him, so the burden on him is a bit less.
Yes, yes. So I feel that, yeah, it's called a young professional offer that Investec has at the moment, and this is what is driving the offering from their side. There is also the other banks that offer preferential rates and approvals to young professionals who are attorneys or medical professionals or in the financial accounting realm or field, should I say. And then, so I definitely feel it's worthwhile shopping because 1.35% below prime, it's easy to attain that with a 15% deposit on a young professional's profile. So we can definitely go as far as 1.5% below prime, maybe even slightly lower, because the other banks would be more aggressive at trying to secure, business outside of where, where he is banked. And currently he's not banked, at the other banks, and that's why we find the other banks are more aggressive in offering lower rates. 50% of his attorney bond registration fees would also be applicable by shopping around. And, we could definitely get the 1.5, maybe even lower percentage rate on that.
Okay.
On that
I
offer.
think because he's with a legal firm, I think he gets the bond registration. I'm not sure if it's free, but he definitely gets a deal on that. So he is currently with Investec. I'm not sure if it's worth trying to negotiate with Investec themselves.
Yes. So that's exactly what we can do. So what if he prefers to stay with Investec, ultimately, preferably he would like to stay there, then what we do, what I propose we do is we approach all of the institutions, all right, with the signed agreement, deed of sale, offer to purchase that is now concluded with the seller. We support the application and submit through all the various banks, including Investec, and with the aim of sharpening the rate on Investec's side. Because it's the only way they'll really negotiate lower is if an originator channels that motivation and negotiation. We find it's actually across the board, when people bank privately with RMB or any of the other banks for that matter, they would only actually sit up and review their rates is if we, as the third party on behalf of our clients, submit the more preferential offering. And that's when we can elicit the better options, which is a great advantage because our service is free to you.
So how does that work? Who pays you?
The bank has a set fee that they subsidize on your behalf as the client, and they pay that. It's not in any way set off against the clients. It's a free service, and they subsidize our fee once your home loan is registered. And it's the same standard fee across the board. It's not like I would have any interest to gauge an offer with, ABSA over Nedbank. That's why they've made it a leveled it out.
Okay, no, that's useful.
So we are able to secure, I would say, 1.1 mil to 1.2 in that range.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that on his own salary should be fine because
on his own.
Yes, we've got the deposit buffer to help as well.
Yeah.
If need be, I'd like to get us at 1.2 so that you don't have to, use all the funds for the deposit. You could always use that for whatever, refurbishments are needed to the property, etc., or furnishings, etc. But yeah, we could get between 1.1 and 1.2, secure that.
And is that it's not an access bond? I'm assuming these. Can one put in more each month if to reduce the length of time?
Yes.
Or is one? Yeah.
Absolutely. So every home loan that we are able to secure would essentially be an access bond, like you mentioned, and it allows you then to pay that home loan off much sooner than the initial loan term offered and approved for. Just as long as once you are done and dusted and about to settle the last balance, that you just provide a 3-month notice, written notice, to whichever bank we took up the offer with, and then you can settle it. And so there's no penalties then in that case for settling early. And so it will allow you to not only pay those excess funds over and above the monthly minimum installment, but it will also allow you to access those additional excess funds you've paid over and above the installment at any time, given time.
No, that's good to know. Okay, great.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, Ellen.
Yeah, so I think the next steps, can I quickly pop you a mail that details the list of documents needed once the offer to purchase is all sealed, done and dusted there and signed up? It would basically be, has he received a first month's salary? Sorry, I just need to double check that.
Yes, he has.
So for the month of April?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I would call for the April month payslip then, a copy of his employment contract because it's fairly new, and then 3 months bank statements that he uses and transacts on, one of which would include the salary payment confirmation that went in there in the last 3 months. But I'll put this all on the email.
Okay, perfect.
Let me put this all on the email, yeah.
But he needs to proceed now just to get the offer finalized, is that right?
Yes, he can now.
Do that first.
Yes. I'm just going to send this in the interim so you have it as a checklist point. Once the offer is all signed and sealed and given back to you from the agent, we can then move forward and approach all the banks. But yeah, he can definitely proceed in his own name. I would say put in a subject to a 15% deposit to start with, and let's run it from there on the offer, which is 210,000.
Okay, so not the full 400.
I think, I mean, it's up to you. I think that should do it because Investec has given us a go ahead for 1.2 already.
Yes,
And
yes.
I feel like based on that and based on where we kind of standing with our numbers, we should achieve that. So we can put
Okay.
in the 15% deposit, yeah.
All right. Okay, perfect.